You're watching Talk with Audrey. Welcome back. Thousands of children in the United States face orthopedic conditions. If not treated, orthopedic conditions can limit their trajectory for healthy and happy adolescence and childhood. The Scottish Rite for Children is celebrating 100 years of pioneering the healing of muscles, joints, and bones so that kids around the globe can have a boundless childhood. Joining me to talk about how orthopedic issues can adversely affect children, when to seek treatment, and of course to talk about the work that's been done over the last century, Bob Walker, the President and CEO of Scottish Rite for Children, and Dr. Daniel J. Sucato, Chief of Staff. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Audrey.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you very, very much for joining me. This is an exciting story to tell. Let me ask you, Mr. Walker, about the Scottish Rite for Children and its history.
Yeah, well, again, it's a privilege for us to have that opportunity. And we do have a rich history. We feel like a very unique history. And it, as you said, it started 100 years ago, 1921. And at that time, throughout the nation, there was a polio epidemic, and there was one in the Dallas area where we are. And a group of Masons developed a relationship, really more of a partnership, with the first orthopedic surgeon in Dallas. His name was W.B. Carroll. And shortly after that alignment developed, there was a need for an inpatient facility, and a hospital was built to primarily treat children with polio. So through the 20s, 30s, and 40s, into the 50s, that was our primary mission. With the salt and sabin vaccine, it eradicated polio. And really, since that time, we have specialized and developed into a nationally known, internationally known pediatric orthopedic hospital. We have a medical staff that is known nationally and internationally for the work that we do in pediatric orthopedics.
How are children referred to Scottish Rite?
Well, many are referred through their provider when they are detected that they have an orthopedic problem. One of many different diagnoses, but they are generally referred through that. But now in today's environment, many people go to websites and look under specialty care and those things that we really specialize, like scoliosis, a number of other areas of excellence that we do at the hospital. Many of our referrals now come through sort of the internet and knowledge based on what they have learned through the internet.
Dr. Sucato, what are some of the most common orthopedic issues and treatments?
Yeah, it's a great question, and thanks again for having us. I think orthopedic in children can be a number of different things. So we have 6 centers of excellence, and to highlight some of them. So Mr. Walker mentioned scoliosis and spine conditions. We take care of many of them, and we're very well known for that, and developed a implant system that was the most commonly used in this country and worldwide, actually. We take care of many hip conditions. So children have both acquired conditions in which over time they develop these issues, but they also can have some traumatic injuries. We have a very active lower extremity team that takes care of children who have leg length discrepancies, but for one reason or another, they can have bones that are a little bit, instead of being perfectly straight, or have some curvature to them. Clubfoot deformities happen in children. We have a number of sports medicine conditions that we manage. So it really is the full gamut of conditions as well as age groups. And so the very young infants to the adolescent patients we manage.
Well, I mentioned earlier in the intro that if not treated, these orthopedic conditions can limit a child's trajectory for a healthy and happy adolescence and childhood. So mobility is key. And I think that even as an adult, say you need knee surgery and you don't have a knee replacement, that's going to impact the quality of your life going forward. What sorts of problems really impact children when it comes to having that healthy and happy adolescence and childhood?
Yeah, and I think that honestly, you've really defined orthopedics. That is giving children and adult patients, for that matter, a great quality of life. So, for example, in children, when we see young children, and if you don't identify hip issues early on, then and get them taken care of early on, they can cause pain and they can cause immobility, as you've nicely outlined. Same thing with foot conditions and even spine conditions. So many of the spine conditions in which there's a curvature that just continues because children are growing quickly, if you don't address them at the appropriate time, they get worse and they can cause symptoms, and they can cause functional issues in terms of just doing normal daily activities, but certainly doing the things that children want to do, which is play sports and play with their friends and be out in communities. And some of the things that they have also affect their self-image and not only their physical well-being, but also their psychological well-being, which is very important for us here at the hospital. And we have a great team that can manage all of those issues.
I know that there have been a number of innovations that have benefited children around the world, and you're celebrating 100 years. Mr. Walker, how are you celebrating Scottish Rite's 100th birthday?
Well, it's an exciting time, major milestone for the institution, and we have a lot of things planned. Obviously the pandemic has probably, we have had to alter a few of our dates, but we're having some community events. We've had so many people that have been instrumental in getting us to where we are, many volunteers throughout the years, donors that have supported the mission here at the hospital. So we'll be doing that. We celebrate every day when a child walks into the hospital because it's an opportunity for us to be a part of their lives and work with them and their families. Another thing, really for the first time in the history of the hospital, we're having a capital campaign. And we see that as an investment in the future and it's investment in a child. So if somebody is so inclined that they want to be a part of this team at Scottish Rite, want to support the work that's being done here, we want to provide an opportunity for them to do that. And that's another way that we're celebrating. Where
can we go for more information about how to support you?
Great question. So the website seems to be the source for everyone. And so our website is scottishrite100.org, and you can find out lots about the hospital, the history, as well as the celebration of our 100th birthday.
My guests have been Bob Walker, President and CEO of the Scottish Rite for Children, and Dr. Daniel Sucato, Chief of Staff. They're celebrating 100 years of helping children overcome some really challenging orthopedic conditions and helping them lead happy and healthy adolescent and adult lives. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for having us.
There's more to come on Talk with Audrey. I'll be right back.